This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence. Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. Today I'm going thrifting, and so of course I thought I'd pick up the camera and bring you along with me. I've actually been spending the last week getting my paper patterns restocked, and it has been quite a job. So as a treat for getting everything finished with that, I decided I'm going to go on a fun little thrifting or op shopping date, and I'm just so excited because yeah, I really have missed the op shops of Tasmania while I was in Japan. When it comes to thrifting, obviously you never know what you're gonna get. It's always a bit of a mixed bag, but I do have two things on my wish list today that I would be super happy if I could find. The first one being a floor lamp, because we have a floor lamp in our lounge room and we've had it for nearly a decade. It was just a cheap one from Kmart and it's definitely starting to fall apart now, and it also just doesn't go really well with our space anymore. Yeah, I am definitely on the hunt for a really nice floor length lamp, and I'm also after just some really cute Nana style lace curtains, because while we're in Japan we noticed there was this huge trend of a lot of different clothing, both men and women's clothing, being made out of these net lace curtains. Matt even tried on a shirt one day. It was sadly too small, but it just looks so cool, and I'm just really inspired and would like to have a go at making this particular dress I have planned out of some net curtain, which, you know, ideally would be great if I could pick up just some secondhand lace curtain from an op shop instead of having to buy brand new lace curtain fabric, which can be pretty pricey. So those are the two things I'm looking for today, but like obviously if I found some nice fabrics, I would never say no to that. And yeah, I'm just interested to see what goodies I can find at the op shops today. So a little outfit of the day. I am wearing my gingham pantsy dress that I wear pretty much every single day, and I've paired it with my Rosery jumper because it's actually pretty cold today. I've also got my scallop tote bag and my Blunstons because they're super cozy. So my first stop of the day was my local Vinnie's, and even though this op shop is pretty pricey, there's always so much to look at. I was immediately drawn to this cabinet filled to the brim with fabrics, but I have to say, because this cabinet was so nicely presented, I kind of felt bad rummaging through the bundles of fabric and therefore didn't really find anything. The next stop was a Salvo's shop, and they had a whole heap of souvenir spoons, which are just so nostalgic to me because my Oma or grandmother used to have a whole collection of these. I also found these beautiful curtains, which sadly were a little bit too faded for my liking, so I decided to leave them behind, which hopefully I won't regret. I do kind of regret not trying on this wool pleated skirt though. The colours were just so incredible. The next spot is one of my favourites for bed linen and curtain fabrics, and it did not disappoint. Straight away I found a cute lace curtain that I of course picked up. And I also found this really interesting bed quilt cover thing, which I was just so drawn to. You'll just have to wait until the whole part of this video to see whether or not I ended up taking this one home with me. There were also quite a few really cute lamps at this shop, but sadly no floor lamps. Okay, so I am back from a pretty successful day of op shopping. But before I get in and show you everything that I managed to find today, let's just take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. I am pretty sure you know all about Squarespace by now because they have been such a wonderful supporter of my channel. But just in case you don't know what they're all about, Squarespace is an online platform to create a beautiful online presence and launch your passion project. Whether you'd like to start making and selling your own products, create a beautiful portfolio to showcase your work, write a blog, or simply create any website of any kind, you can design and create your dream website all by yourself with Squarespace. You simply select from their range of beautifully designed templates, and then once you've chosen your template, you can then customize it completely. You can change the overall layout of the website to all the fun things like the fonts and colors with just a few clicks. No background or knowledge needed in coding whatsoever. When I sat down to create the Rosery Apparel website back in 2016, I had a very clear idea exactly what I wanted my website to look like and all the different features I wanted it to have. And I literally was able to just drag and drop each element of my website onto the template I'd chosen to make it exactly what I wanted it to look like. The easy drag and drop feature that they have on the back end of the website as you're designing is just such a dream to use. And if you're still not convinced, then Squarespace also does have a free trial. So I totally recommend you go and check out Squarespace using the link in the description below and take advantage of their free trial so you can test out just how easy it is to use for yourself. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/roseryapparel and you can take 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and let's get in and let me show you everything I found today. I think first up we'll start with the fabrics that I found because I managed to luck out in the lace curtain department today. I ended up going with two options. Both of them aren't like a massive amount of fabric. So for the project I want to work on, I may end up like merging both these two designs into it. I'm not sure yet. And I'm being very vague about this project just because it's all a bit of an experiment. So these might even end up just being complete fail. I don't know. But the first one I found was this really pretty kind of like rose design. Again, this piece isn't massive, but there is a fair bit there, enough to do a little bit of experimenting, I think. And this piece cost me $4. The next piece is actually the exact design I wanted because I've actually got some hanging up in my sewing space as we speak. And the reason I love it so much is it's kind of like a scallop design. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, again, not a great deal there, but this is quite a popular design. So I figured if I grabbed this, then I'll probably down the track find some more at an op shop another time, so I can just collect bits and pieces until I have enough for my dress project that I want to make. This piece cost $6. And I did also test to see if they tore, because if net curtain has been in the sun for a long time, they begin to tear after a while. And neither of these are tearing, so that is a good sign. Next, I found this adorable gingham tablecloth. I just can't go past a gingham tablecloth. So it's just like a chocolate brown, which I am kind of in love with at the moment, and it has the cutest little kind of embroidered design on it. It almost reminds me of smocking a little bit, so I was very drawn to this, and I think it could make a really cute like collar. Like imagine that as a collar. I would love that. I think that would look so cool. So yeah, I haven't actually checked how big this one is yet. It's actually pretty huge. Yeah, I could make a really cute blouse out of this, I think. But yeah, this piece cost $4, so an absolute bargain, I think. And the last fabric piece that I found, I'm actually the most excited about. It's a bit of a spontaneous purchase. I wasn't expecting to find something like this, and at first I wasn't sure if it's a project I want to tackle, but it ended up being really cheap, so I decided to get it. It's this, I'm not even sure what it is. It's a single bed valance type thing, or like quilt cover or something. I'm not exactly sure what these are called, but it's kind of like out of some like polyester silky type fabric, but the print of it is just so incredible. It's that really classic vintage floral bedsheet print in the most dreamy colors. Like, oh, I'm in love with it. But the reason why I picked this up is because I've seen a lot of people have been repurposing this type of fabric. It's almost like sleeping bag fabric, and making puffer jackets out of it. That is something in my wardrobe that I don't have, is a puffer jacket. And here in Tasmania, you kind of need one. It gets very cold here, and I just feel like it could be really fun to make a puffer jacket in kind of a fabric that is more me and my style, because the typical black puffer jackets just, they're so boring. I don't know, I've never wanted to spend the money to get one because they don't excite me at all. So that is why I picked this up. It was only $4, which is an absolute bargain. And yeah, stay tuned potentially for me having to go at thrift flipping this into a puffer jacket. So now I have a few home bits. First, I have this cute little wooden knitting Nancy, or French knitting. I'm not sure. I used to call it French knitting when I was a kid. And basically, it's kind of like my first ever experience to knitting I did on one of these. And when I saw this like just plain wooden one, I thought it was so cute and just such a fun little thing to have in my sewing kit. So yeah, I saw that and had to pick it up. It was only $2. And the next really random home thing is this tiny miniature jug. I have a thing for miniatures at the moment, and there was a whole stash of these little miniature plates and little jugs like this as well that someone had obviously collected, but I decided only to pick one up because I don't need a whole collection of them. My dream one day is to do a little dollhouse renovation, so I'll hold on to that for that time, but it was only $1 and I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. Next, I have this amazing dish. It's like a dish that you could put like a dip in and then have the biscuits or the bread on the side. And I honestly don't have anything quite like this. I've got a lot of platters and things, but nothing that can like contain biscuits and dip, which I just think is so smart. But what I love about it is there's a little lobster in there. I don't know if you can see, but when I saw the lobster, I just kind of fell in love with it. I thought it was really cute, but then when I showed Matt, he was like, it's kind of freaky. So now I'm not so sure, but I think I like it. And I love that it's pink as well. It goes with a lot of the other things in my kitchen already. So when I saw this, I had to have it, and it was only $5. Next, I have this kind of like contractable wine rack, and I don't know exactly why I bought this. I don't really need it right now because I do already have a wine rack that I kind of keep a bunch of wines on for like a little cellar I'm starting. But I really like this one because it just is such a simple design, but it is really effective. I don't know, I decided to pick it up. It only was $2 in the end. But yeah, kind of another random home thing really, but I kind of like it. And sadly, I didn't find a lamp today. I think a floor lamp is going to be really tricky to find. There was none. I didn't see a single one. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, but I did find a lampshade, like a really cool lampshade. And this lampshade actually reminds me of a really expensive lamp that I really love, but is way too expensive. But the lampshade of it really reminds me of that lamp. I'll put it on the screen now so you can see. And it only cost me $14. So compared to that lamp, I'm really happy that I found a shade that's somewhat similar. So now I just need to find a floor lamp base, and then I can put this on and I'll have a lamp. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with this find, and I think it's going to be a lot easier to find a floor lamp base on its own than it is to find a shade and a base that I like. So yeah, really happy I picked that up. And the last couple of things I have to share are some pattern books. I always like to check the knitting patterns when I'm op shopping because I love vintage knitting patterns. They just have such interesting designs. The first one is this pattern book here. It's called Autumn Harvest by the brand Shepjawul. I do not know how to pronounce that. I was really drawn to this design on the front. I think it's a really cool design, very similar to my Rosery jumper I feel, but just slightly different. It's also got quite a few different designs on the inside as well. None that I love quite as much as the one on the front, but you know, still fun to have. And as different styles come into style, it's fun to look through these every couple of years because things I'm not into right now, maybe in a few years I will be. So that was the first one. Next I have this Cleckheaton one, which again, the one on the front kind of like drew me in because it has this really cute rose design on the yoke of the jumper. This one doesn't have as many designs, but they're all really nice. Like, I love them. So yeah, as soon as I saw this pattern book, I just had to pick it up. And the last little book I have isn't a knitting pattern book, but it's actually by Golden Hands. It's a little booklet called All About Patchwork, and just look at the front. Oh, I love a hexagon patchwork quilt. So when I saw the cover, I just had to have a little flick through, and yeah, it's just all patchwork stuff, which is just so on trend right now. It's so funny how things come back, but I'm also really into it as well. Like, actually making quilts is something I like to do now. So yeah, I think I will get a lot of inspiration from this little book. And that is everything I managed to find today. Definitely found some really beautiful things today that I'm very excited about. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite item that I found. I think my favorite item is the lampshade, closely followed by the bedsheet valance thing that I'm gonna make a puffer jacket out of. I'm just really excited to give that project a go and create a jacket that is hopefully going to keep me very warm, but also is more in my style and goes with the other items I already have in my wardrobe. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video until the very end, and I hope you enjoyed coming off shopping with me today. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching.